Today I'm going to show you how to make a twisted wire bangle. This is what it looks like on, and I'll show you what it looks like layered with a couple others in a minute here. And this is another one that I made. I made these two with 4mm crystal cubes, little Chinese crystal cubes, in just a variety of different colors. And I think it's really cute and whimsical with all the different colors. But of course, you don't have to do that with a bunch of different colors. You can do it all with one color or two colors. And this one I did the same exact process I'm going to show you, but instead of using the 4mm crystals, the cubes, I used 4mm or 4x4mm cuboid crystals that Shirley at Budget Bead Box has. And I used 2 on one side with gold 8/0 seed beads, and then I used 6 silver 8/0 seed beads on the other side, doing the exact same process that I did with this one that I show you on the video today. So you can see that you can do other things with this method with other beads and come up with a lot of different looks. This one is dainty and cute, and it's just a really pretty twisted look. This one is more whimsical and quite cute on. They're very easy to open and put on your wrist. So I can just slide this one right on here. Let me move that one down a little and get coordinated and just slide that right on. Now they are a little malleable because they're with a little softer wire, but they hold their shape really well on the wrist. And if they do get a little bit out of shape, you can shape them right back up. It's really easy to do. They wear nicely, and they don't lose their shape too badly at all. But like I said, if they do a little bit, you can still wear them and doctor them up a little. So that's what these look like, all 3 of them together on, and I think it's just a really cute look, and they wear nicely. And then I also made one with just the 4x4 cuboid crystals and 8/0 seed beads with 2 colors of cuboids, and I think that turned out really pretty. And then I made one with elongated bicones. You can get the cuboids and the elongated bicones from Shirley at Budget Bead Box. But I think that this shows you that you can do this several different ways. So let's go ahead and look at what it takes to make these bracelets and let you start being creative and using whatever beads you would like to use with them. Anything 4mm works really great. But like I said, with these are longer too. So you can do it with bicones, you can do it with fire polish beads, whatever you'd like. Let's take a look at the materials that I used for the one that I'm going to make on video today and go ahead and make a bracelet. For this project, I'm going to be using some 8/0 seed beads. This is a Toho, and it is Starlight in the Toho line. It's galvanized permanent finish gold tone. And I am going to use the gold in this one because I kind of like the combination of gold and silver together. Of course, you can use any color 8/0 seed bead you'd like to use. And then I'm going to use a combination of different colors of 4mm cubes. This is a Chinese crystal cube, and I just have a blend of different colors just to make it kind of whimsical. Of course, you can do it in all one color. You do not have to use 4mm cubes. You can also use a 4x4 cuboid, which I did in these 2 here, and you can get those from Shirley at Budget Bead Box. With this one, I used 2 cuboids and 6 of my 8/0 seed beads, and I did the exact same process. I just twisted it that way. This one, I used 4 cuboids of different 2 cuboids of different colors on this one. And on this one, I've done it the same way I'm going to show you here, except for I used silver seed beads instead of gold. So you can do this a lot of different ways. You can use a 4mm fire polish bead. You can use a 4mm bicone. As long as you stay around the 4mm size, you should be fine. You're also going to need 26 inches cut of a dead soft wire. This is a dead soft silver plated copper wire. There's several different brands of wire, like artistic wire, zebra wire, whatever, just as long as you have a 20 gauge, which is 0.8 millimeter, and it is a dead soft wire. You want to be able to manipulate this with your hands easily. So 26 inches of that. And then if you have a coiling tool or coiling plier like this, or a bale plier, then you can use it. I'm going to use this one here, which is about 6 millimeter round loop. So you can use anything that's around 6 millimeter round. You can even wrap it around, like this portion of the pin right here is about the perfect size. Also, you can also use your round nose pliers, except for they're just not quite 6 millimeter. You'll have to go all the way to the very end, unless yours are bigger than mine, which they could be. Then you can use it too, but I would just wrap it loosely so you get a nice, good size loop. So then I'm going to have a couple of a chain nose and a flat nose plier available also, and some cutters, of course, some flush cutters. So let's go ahead and get started with this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our piece of wire that we've cut at 26 inches or approximately right around there. Then just put the two ends together and then pull the other end to center, find the center of the wire. I'm going to switch it around this way, and I'm going to grab my baling pliers, and I'm going to use this section right here. It's about 6 millimeters around, and I'm just going to place my wire, the center of it, right on there and pinch it. Now you can use your chain nose pliers or your straight nose pliers also to just kind of pinch it around there. And then pull it off of there. And you can see my loop is not actually perfect, so I can take my flat nose pliers or my chain nose pliers, probably my chain nose will work better, and I can just put it on this side that's a little bit less of a meeting of the wires here in the center, and just bring it in until it's together flush here. The two wires are together. And then I'm just going to straighten out these wires a little bit, hold on to the loop between my finger and my thumb, and then I'm going to grab my left hand and I'm going to cross these wires over each other right where they meet, just like that. I'm going to keep them somewhat close together so that I can manipulate them with my hand. I'm going to use my middle finger and my thumb. Now, of course, you can use your forefinger. Mine doesn't work well. It's been injured. So I just use my middle finger and my thumb. And I'm just going to turn both the wires at the same time. So I twist them instead of rolling one wire over the other. I want to twist them both. So I'm going to twist once and then twice, just like that. Now, if your loop doesn't look perfect, you can put it back on your round thing and just kind of doctor it up a little bit, and it's good enough. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. This is kind of an organic thing. It doesn't have to be perfect. All your twists don't have to be perfect, but you want to get them as close as you can, just because. Now, this is where we're going to start putting on our beads. So what we're going to do, let me back off so you can see my beads. I'll bring them in a little bit here. Is we're going to pick up an 8/0 seed bead first, and then a cube. And it doesn't matter, I'm just using all different colors, so it doesn't matter what color I pick up. If you're using two or whatever, you might want to alternate them. One here, like let's say you're using pink and blue, you might want to go pink and blue and then blue and pink. So I'm going to just pick up different colors. Then I'm going to pick up another 8/0 seed bead and another cube. And drop those down, and then one more 8/0 seed bead. So I've got 3 8/0 seed beads on with 2 cubes. So let me show you. It's like this, 8/0 cube, 8/0 cube, 8/0. And you can do this with whatever beads you want to use. And then I'm going to pick up another of my 8/0s and put it on the other wire now. And do the same thing. I'm just going to pick up different colors, just random. Some people really like the mixture of colors. I do. I think it's festive and cute and just whimsical. But if you don't, you can always use one color, 2 colors, make a theme, whatever. Now, I have the same combination of seed beads and cubes on either wire. I'm going to scoot them down as far as I can get them on the wire. They want to keep popping around. And with my right hand, I'm just going to hold them down closest to the last twist as I can get them. And just hold them secure. And then with my left hand, I'm going to cross the wires right underneath the beads. Try to keep those beads tied up there the best you can. And now they're crossed like this. And now I am going to put my wires a little bit closer together so I can grab a hold of it with my hand like I did before. I'm going to put my middle finger on top and my thumb underneath. I'm going to make sure that I have a hold of both wires so that when I turn, I'm turning the wires around each other to twist and not roll one wire on top of the other. So I've got 1, reposition my hand, 2, and then 3. Just like that. And this is what you should have. Now, we're going to make our next unit and then we'll twist each previous unit tighter so that they roll around each other a little bit more. At first, I'm just going to grab my beads and I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to pick up an 8/0. Then I will pick up another cube, and I'm just trying to get random different colors than I used on the first unit, just so that I have a variety of the way that it looks here. So 8/0 cube, 8/0 cube, 8/0. Excuse me. I've been having allergy issues, so I apologize. Then an 8/0 and a cube. Oops, I just smacked my cubes. And an 8/0. And another cube. Let's see, I'll use this one. And another 8/0. And then again, I will bring these down as close as I can get to the last twist of my wire here. And I will hold them with my right hand. And then I'll bring my wires together with my left hand and cross them right underneath those 8/0 seed beads like this, trying to hold them as tightly together as I can. And then I'll bring my wires a little bit closer together so I can get a hold of them. I will put my thumb on top and my middle finger on the bottom while holding onto the other beads. Make sure that they're crossed pretty good. Actually, I'm going to put my thumb on the bottom and my middle finger on top and twist 1, 2, 3 times away from me. And this is what you should have. And now that you have this unit made, you can tighten this unit. So what we're going to do is, we've been turning away from us, so we're going to take this unit and turn it away from us, and this unit and turn it towards us. And we're just going to do that 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Now, you want them to kind of turn on top of each other. I'm going to go ahead and turn this one more time, just like this. So it's nice and tight. Now, they're still laying kind of flat, but we can always come back and turn them a little bit more, or you can just kind of twist it like this so that they are twisted a little, like this. Now, I will do my next unit. So I'll pick up an 8/0. Let me back off again. An 8/0 and a cube and an 8/0 oh, come on, go in there. And a cube and an 8/0 and then I'll do my other wire, an 8/0 and then a cube and then an 8/0 and another cube. And an 8/0. And draw these down as close as I can get them to the last twist. Hold them with my right hand. And then bring with my left hand the 2 wires together in an X shape underneath the beads, as close as you can get them underneath the beads like this. Hold on to your beads. Place your fingers with your middle finger on top, thumb on bottom, and then 1, 2, 3, just like that. Now we can twist this one. 1, 2, 3, like that. And now that it's starting to get a nice twist. And then we're just going to continue doing that all the way down the length of the bracelet. And about 7 units is what it's going to take. We want to make about 6.5 inches. If you have, if you want to make it about a 7.5 inch, since it's a bangle and it's going to take up a little room with the bulk here, you can make 7 units. If you have a smaller wrist, make 6 units. You just want to make sure that you have about an inch less of length, so go an inch short of the length that you want to end up with for your bracelet. And I will come back and show you exactly what I have. So continue making the units exactly like I showed you, and then doing the twist on the previous, between the previous 2 units here, and continue to the end of the bracelet. Okay, so as you can see, I've made 7 units on my piece of wire here. And I went ahead and made my last one and then tightened the twist in between with 3 more gentle twists. And if you can't get 3 full twists, just get it as close as you can until you feel it really tighten. And then you can kind of mess with them and make them kind of twisted. So like this one's down, this one's up, this one's down. And just twist them a little so that they are turned a little bit on your wire. Now I made my last one, tightened this, and I have 3 coils right here. Now I have mine, it's about, let's see how long it is. It is about 7 inches long. So this is going to be probably about a 7.5 to 8 inch bracelet. So you can, like I said, adjust it if you get to the point to where you have 5 and the twist here, and that's long enough for your wrist. If you have a tiny wrist, you want to go more towards 6.5 inches, that's fine. You can go 6 units, you can go 7 units, you can go 8 units, however big you want it to be. Now, I have to continue twisting this end. I have my 3 twists that I made after making my last unit. I'm going to place my thumb and my finger back on this, and I'm going to make some nice tight twists until I have about 2 inches of twisted wire. Make sure you get nice, even, tight twists by grabbing both of your wires and turning them both at the same time. If you don't do that, if you have one, it'll just, if you're uneven, you'll get one wire that just kind of wraps around the other, and you won't get a pretty nice tight twist like this. So we want to do this for about 2 inches. Let me see what I got here. Right around 2 inches. So let me get maybe one more twist here. Nice and tight. And then you can kind of tighten it even more by just twisting like that. I don't want my wires to do weird things up here though. Okay, so I've got my 2 inches of twisted wire here, and I'm going to measure right about an inch, right about here. I'm going to bend this over. So I'm going to grab my flat nose pliers. It doesn't have to be perfect, just right about here. I'm going to bend this portion over my flat nose pliers, just like that. And then once I have that bent over, I'm going to squish it together. Just get it together the best you possibly can. Doesn't have to be perfect, just the best you can get it. And I'm actually going to take maybe a twist or two more here. I'm going to straighten this out just slightly and just twist this a little bit more. There we go. And straighten this out. You just have to look at it and judge what you want to do with yours. I'm going to bend these ends up, just like that. So I'm bending them straight out away from my twisted portion. Then I'm going to hold on to this twisted portion, and I'm going to bring these 2 wires around. Now you can wrap one at a time, one above the other, however you want. I'm just wrapping them both together and wrapping them around the end here. Now this is a very organic type look. You don't have to have it perfect. Just wrap it the best you possibly can. Your twists aren't going to be perfect. Nothing about this is perfect. You just make it kind of neat looking. And then once I have that wrapped to where I like it, let me get you a little closer so you can see what it looks like. Then I will grab these little flush cutters here and cut this down as close as I can. And then I'll grab my chain nose pliers and tuck these in. And this is a really soft wire, so it's not too hard to get them tucked in pretty nice. Yeah, it's not pokey or anything. Now, I have this kind of weird looking little thing. I can twist it a little bit more to straighten it out and get a nice twist, just like that. And then I want to make sure, after I've done that, that my loop here is flat against the beadboard, and this guy here is flat against the beadboard also, or the bead mat. And that way I don't have one twisted up and one twisted down or whatever. I just want them the same way. Now I'm going to take this end and I'm going to grab my round nose pliers, and I'm just going to go a little ways down, just about 1/4 of an inch, and I'm just going to roll this over. And then I can take the very end and just roll it up gently. Just gently, just a tiny bit. And see, I could have even gone up a little bit higher on this so that I had a little bit more of a hook, but that's okay. I'm going to adjust this a little bit until it looks good. I might even be able to, there we go. So just adjust it until you have a nice little hook with your twisted wire like this. You can have this end up a little bit and just play with it until you get it nice. And then again, kind of twist your pieces or make everything look good. And you can see how it's twisted on my wire like this. Now you need to get something round. I'm going to use my bracelet mandrel, which is actually kind of an oval shape, but I'm just going to use it. I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to wrap it around like this. You can use anything round. It doesn't even have to be a mandrel. It can be a can, it can be whatever, just something to wrap it around like this. And then once I have my basic shape, then I can bring this portion down and in a little bit, and then this portion down and in a little bit, and then I can clasp it, and then I can shape it some more. Now, because this is really soft wire, you can work with it a little bit, but the twisting has made it to where it's durable enough to wear, and it's not really going to lose its shape terribly. So that's the nice part about twisting it. It gives it a little bit more strength, and durability here. So now I have this nice little shape bracelet like this. Now I'm going to put it on and see if I need to adjust, because you're clasping. So I made mine a little bit big. You can make it a little bit smaller. You're just going to have to play with it and see how much of an actual twist that you want to make at the end and where you want to roll it over so that it works really well. Now I'm going to put this on my wrist and see how it fits. And that fits pretty darn good, actually. And it looks really very cute. I kind of like it. So this is a really simple style of bracelet. You can do it a million different ways, and you can stack a bunch of them together. This one I really like. I did with the little cuboid, the 4x4 cuboid crystals that I got from Shirley at Budget Bead Box, and I did just 6 seed beads on the other side, and the exact same concept. I did the exact same thing. You can see my clasp turned out a little bit prettier on this one. Each one you do turns out a little bit different. It's the same basic concept. It just sometimes they turn out prettier than other times. So I'm going to put this one on so you can see what it looks like too. Oh, come here. And that's really cute. They're cute together. And then I made another one like this with the different color cubes. And I put that one on the other side of my seed bead one. And look at that. Isn't that cute? I think that's adorable. And like I said, this one, you can see my twists were a little tiny bit off here, and here they're much better. As you go along, they get a little bit better. You kind of define how you're doing it and figure it out. I made this one with long elongated bicones, and it's kind of pretty too. So you can see you can use different beads. They don't this one didn't twist quite as much. I mean, they are twisted around each other somewhat, but these are twisted more. So, you know, it just depends on how you twist them. And this is all cuboids right here, and this turned out pretty too. So you can make these a bunch of different ways with a bunch of different beads. You can use rounds, ovals, or not ovals. I mean, you can use like a fire polish bead. A round fire polish bead is a little bit more oval. You can use the cuboids. You can use the cubes. I think these 4mm cubes work out really good. The thing about 4mm cubes, though, Chinese crystal cubes, is some of them will be much bigger than others that you get. You might not be able to see the difference here, but this one's about 1/2 millimeter bigger all the way around than this one. So it wraps a little bit differently. So when you get Chinese crystal cubes, sometimes the sizes vary. These happen to be a little bit smaller. They're more true to 4mm size. But anyway, try out a bunch of different stuff. Try out a bunch of different ways to do it, and make yourself some cute bracelets. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. See you later.